kind of see the length there, right? So they're definitely longer. I've been chopping away at this thing. We're going to the Speedlogix harness bar after we're going from the cage. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So I know it's been a while. I know I've been a little MIA. You know, family stuff going on, vacations with the family, holidays. I got, you know, Christmas stuff everywhere. Still modding the car. Got my old center console here. I'll be doing a video on the center console as well, but it's all carbon fiber. Little sneak peek there. I also got another video coming soon on the Speedlogix harness bar. We're going to the Speedlogix harness bar after we're going from the cage. I did have the Cypher harness bar in the past. I feel like this is kind of a middle ground between the Cypher and a full-fledged cage. So I'm hoping this will, you know, be good. I still like having a back seat. Obviously, I got, you know, the car seat in there for the kids, so I gotta be able to have a back seat. That's why I chose to sell the cage. Shout out to Widebody if you're watching this. He bought the cage. I think he powdered it red, so it's no longer green. But yeah, this is gonna be our next step here. So stay tuned for a future video on that. I'm gonna be having it powder coated, obviously shocker yellow. But yeah, things aren't stopping here. I decided to make a quick video on ARP extended studs. So let me tell you what's going on here. If you've been following the channel, you know I've been having tons of issues with the LD97, the trash fitment wheels from LD97. So previous videos if you want some context to that. But yeah, so if you've been following, you know that, you know, I've been missing some millimeters in the rear. And after, you know, giving it some time, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try this. So what I need in the rears to fill the void, I had 5mm spacers back here, but I need 10, and 10 fills the void perfectly. This spacer wouldn't fit on our stock studs. Stock studs are quite short. Kind of see the length there, right? So they're definitely longer than the stock studs, which is what I need in the rears, because I need some threads to be able to grab, you know, a lug nut on there. So I installed the ARP studs. I think these were probably around 60 to 70 bucks per wheel, you know, set of 5. So I didn't really see a video on these studs, so these are the ones I got. Part number right there, 100-7734. Comes in a pack of 5, like I said. I got these from Summit Racing, and yeah, so installed them. I haven't seen anybody do a video on this, so I figured I'd just do it. So I already did the passenger side. Woo, carbon fiber. Or sorry, the driver's side. Woo, carbon fiber. But I do got some poke now out here. What I had to do here was literally shave this entire edge. So there was no lip at all, like from like here all the way here. There's no lip. The fitment is now like perfect, so it touches the tire when it's all the way on the ground, which is what, you know, the way I wanted it from LD97. It's not a, you know, a great fix, but I wish the offsets would have been right. But this is kind of the only way I can get it, you know, sitting on the tire without having the faces redone. So you know, spacer it is. So we're doing 10 mils in the back, and we're doing 15 mils up in the front. Take off your rotor, right? Slide that bad boy right off. Essentially what you want to do is remove this hub piece. So this chrome circle right here, it bolts to, you know, this hub back here, which is, you know, you can see a bolt back there. There's one more right there, and there's 2 more on the bottom. So 4 bolts plus your axle bolt, which is a 32. So you'll pull your axle bolt out, and then kind of just, you know, use something and hit it with a hammer to jar the axle actually loose from the threads in there, so there's some play in the axle. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove this tie, I think it's a tie rod, and then you're going to have to really work at it. But those bolts, you see there's one right there, that's the bottom one. There's one more up here. I don't know if I can get a camera on it, towards the top, but it's a real bitch to get. So there's, like I said, there's 2 on the bottom, and there's 2 at the top, and they're really pain in the ass to get to. I think they're called E12 bolts or something. You can look them up on you know, other YouTube videos. I believe they're called E12s or E20s or something like that. They're star bolts, kind of reverse, so you can use that if you have one. What I found is a 10mm works just fine. You're gonna have to have like a combination of extensions and all that. So I find that this little itty bitty 10 does a good job. It's the smallest, you know, 10 I got, but it works, does the job. Those bolts aren't super tight. This was the combination I used for the 2 lower bolts, and then for the top 2 bolts I just used the little ratchet with a long 10, which was this little long 10. So you take those 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom off, and then like I said, your axle bolt here and this whole piece right here will come off. Before I did that though, I hammered our old studs through. So I put a bolt on the threads, something like that, so that I could still protect the stock studs, and then I just hammered it, you know, 7 or 8 times, and it pops through. And then you know, I did all 5 of them like that, and then once I got this piece off, I slid our ARPs into this piece, essentially just lifted it up, slide it on. Just be careful when you pull all that apart, because this this backing is kind of held in place by those bolts that you're going to remove, and it's going to kind of want to fall down. So just keep some of the threads of those bolts passed through that metal, and this will stay in place. Oh, and your caliper, mine used to be red, that's why they're kind of crappy like that, but you only really see the face, which is the sublime green. But yeah, mine used to be red painted on green. So you remove these 2 bolts here. I think that's a size, what are we working with here? That's an 18, I believe. So also remove those, slide that sucker. I just set it right in there, works just fine, and that's about it. So where I'm sitting now, I'm gonna go ahead and start assembly, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. So stay tuned, because you don't want to miss this. This shit's fire. After you get the studs actually out, the OEM ones, how you get these new ones on here, you really want them seated obviously all the way up against your hub here, right? You want them to sit nice and flush there. 2 big washers, slid it over these guys, added our tool, and that way it'll, you know, get past that ridge that's right there. And then I grabbed a lug nut, old nut that I had, and you slide that over your bolt, and you literally just, you can do this by, you know, with a wrench, or a you know, you can do this with a socket if you want. I didn't. I whipped out our big boy here, Harbor Freight, and literally just pounded on it a few times with this sucker, and it very easily seated these. So you don't want to go too much. You really just want them to sit flush. Don't go crazy if you got some big tool like that, but you really want to make sure that, you know, the tool you use is really, you know, seating those properly. If you don't have, you know, a pass-through nut like this, make sure you pick one up before you start the job, because it's necessary. All right, that took less than about 10 minutes. You got it reassembled here. Got our rotor back on. Got our tie rod in there, if that's what it's called, don't remember. Got our caliper back on. See, you can't see none of the red, but looks good. And we need our Audi 97 compensator. Trademark that. We should trademark that. So that should give us good fitment. The fitment we paid for. So let me go and get the wheel back on here and stay tuned. Alright, so we're back on the ground. And you can, I don't know if you could tell, but I could tell. I mean, 10mm makes a difference. So that pokes out past the fender line now. But it will tuck. It will tuck. So I've just got the car on the ground. This side, let me show you. Also, got some pokage. I'll have to probably shave a little bit off of this edge. Yeah, let me go ahead and shave a little bit, and then we'll try to lower the car, because I already know I'm gonna have to shave some. So give me 1 minute. All right, we just took some material off. Good old Dremel. Alright, so I don't know if you could tell or not, but There is material gone there now. Probably won't focus, but that's okay. Around 60-ish is where we get sketchy. Okay. Woo! Is that not pretty? Look at that. Look at that. Maybe touch? Let's see. Damn, look at that shit though, right? I mean, come on, dude. Why couldn't LD just get that right? Definitely not gonna pass the dollar bill test because it's touching. So let me take off a little bit more material. I've been chopping away at this thing. I've hit it about 3 more passes or so, and I'm about 70 psi on the rears, which is about where it is when it touches the tire. So I'm just using tape here to kind of mark up where I need to take off, excess material, but it is touching the tire, so that's as much as I can take off. And you can see it's touching right in there. So not touching a lot, just a little bit. And these are plastic, so they will give a little bit, so I'm not worried about them getting pushed out or nothing. But man, that looks good. So I've just been chopping away at the rest of this just to make sure we're gonna be okay. This side, as you can see, is good. The car tucks just fine. And let me know what you guys think. Is that money or what? Damn. That looks good to me. See all the plastic I took off. But this is the look I wanted, man. This was what I was going for when I bought 3-piece wheels, This is it. I mean, it's there. Unfortunately, it's with spacers, but what are you gonna do, So I don't think a dollar bill will even fit in that gap right there because it's touching. And I don't really have any more material to take off, so I'm just gonna air it out and see what happens. Luckily, this is a bolt-on kit, not the tape, so it shouldn't go nowhere. Let me zoom in for you guys. You let me know if that falls off. Okay, let's take a look. Whew. That is snug, but zoom out a little bit here. I think we're gonna be okay. All up in there's fine. It's just that same pinch point at the top. So again, there's nothing really I can do to take off as far as material goes. I think we cleared, boys. I mean, cleared enough. Yeah, so I could take off even a little bit more in there, but like I said, it's got some flex in it, so I'm not too worried about it falling off. So let me just double check my measurements and I'll pick this back up. Alright fellas, so it's practically aired out. I only got like 20 or 30 psi in the rears, which is essentially aired out. But yeah, that's how you install ARP extended studs. I'm going to close out this video with that. Be sure to like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel because we are not done. Still more to go. We got more carbon fiber stuff, of course, coming. Stay tuned for that video. You want to miss that one. We got this guy coming, and we do have some other stuff coming. So I'm not done with the channel. Just been taking a little break. Drop your boy some love. Be sure to drop that like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next. Peace.